You're not ready. I don't care how many cans you've stacked or how many flashlights you've bought, because when disaster hits, Walmart becomes a battleground. Not in days. In under 6 hours, 80% of key supplies are gone. That's straight from the National Retail Federation. FEMA says 93% of Americans don't prep until after the emergency is announced. That means you're already behind the stampede. And the shelves? They're not restocking. According to DHS, supply chains collapse within 72 hours of grid failure. So here's the deal. Walmart employees have seen the chaos firsthand, and they know exactly what vanishes first. Not theory, not hype, real patterns, real panic. These are the 7 items every serious prepper grabs before the herd even knows what's happening. And no, they're not what you think. You've got one shot to get this right. Let's go. 7. Lighters, matches, and fire starters. The real ignition crisis. Here's the part they don't talk about on prepping forums because it sounds too basic. Fire. That little flame most folks take for granted vanishes from Walmart shelves faster than meat during a blackout. And no, it's not just about lighting candles. It's about heat, cooking, sterilization, protection. When the grid goes down, your Bic lighter becomes your best friend. And Walmart employees know it. They say the checkout lanes are flooded with lighters, matches, and those little dollar store fire starters the moment an alert hits. In fact, data from the National Interagency Fire Center shows that during winter storm warnings and wildfire evacuations, local retailers report a 380% spike in fire-related product sales within the first 12 hours. The problem? Most people buy one. One lighter, one matchbook. That's a joke. In survival scenarios, especially cold ones, you may need a dozen ignition sources just to cook or stay warm over a week. And the fancy stormproof matches? Gone instantly. Employees say those waterproof survival strikers and magnesium blocks get scooped up by people who look like they've never gone camping a day in their life. Smart preppers stock redundant ignition, multiple sources, at least 10 disposable lighters, a tin of waterproof matches, and 3 compact fire starter bricks per bug-out bag. One in your car, one in your kitchen, one in your go bag. Store them in vacuum-sealed bags with desiccant packs. Bonus intel? Walmart started locking up high-temp butane torches in areas that recently faced civil unrest. Why? Because when power goes out, they're not just survival tools. They're considered security risks. So next time you walk past the lighter aisle, don't assume you have time. Because when the dark hits, fire isn't a convenience. It's life. 6. Over-the-counter meds, the silent lifesavers. Everyone forgets. It's always the same story. People rush Walmart in a panic, grabbing batteries, food, flashlights, but they overlook the shelf that's going to save them when their kid spikes a 103-degree fever or their blood pressure hits the ceiling. The pharmacy aisle. We're talking ibuprofen, acetaminophen, electrolyte powders, antihistamines, antidiarrheals, and, yes, even laxatives. The second the grid blips or an evacuation alert hits phones, the people who know start grabbing bottles like it's Black Friday. During the 2023 Maui wildfires, Walmart managers confirmed that OTC medicine aisles were stripped within 3 hours. You hear that? Not water, not food, medicine. And here's the kicker. If supply chains break down, you're not getting more. CVS and Walgreens run on automated restocking systems that rely on trucks running every 48 to 72 hours. If roads are blocked or staff can't show up, that's it. Now factor this in. The CDC estimates that 60% of U.S. households rely on daily medication. Even more rely on occasional pain or allergy relief. But only 12% have a 30-day stockpile. That's prepping malpractice. Your plan isn't real until you've got 6 months of basic over-the-counter meds. Not just for comfort, but for survival. A child's fever can turn deadly. Diarrhea in a no clean water situation? Dehydration. Game over. Electrolyte powder alone can save a life. Don't forget thermometers. Don't forget hydrogen peroxide, iodine, and topical antibiotics. Even antifungal creams, because once sanitation drops, infections spike. You want to be the house that can handle a cut, a migraine, a stomach bug while everyone else is calling a doctor who isn't answering. Walmart employees say the people who actually prep don't load up on trail mix. They clean out the Tylenol shelf first. 5. Trash bags, contractor grade. Your unexpected survival MVP. Here's the thing nobody brags about on Instagram survival pages. Garbage, trash bags, big black heavy-duty contractor bags. Not the scented kind for kitchen cans. We're talking the 3 mil thick, 42-gallon monsters that Walmart keeps stocked next to the lawn tools. You know what preppers really do with them? Everything. They become emergency ponchos, rain catchers, improvised toilets, insulation layers, waterproof sleeping bag shells, even temporary body bags in worst-case scenarios. Yeah, no one likes saying that last one. But in a real crisis, sanitation gets ugly fast. And when you don't have trash removal for days, sometimes weeks, you'll wish you had a mountain of plastic armor. Walmart staff report that during the 2021 ice storms in Oklahoma and Texas, heavy-duty bags were bought out before flashlights. Think about that. According to the American Public Health Association, in disaster conditions where garbage builds up unchecked, bacterial infections can spread within 48 hours, especially if there's standing water involved, not to mention rodents, insects, and airborne pathogens. You think prepping is just ammo and canned beans? No. It's also what you do with 3 days' worth of soiled paper towels, food scraps, or worse, human waste. The smart prepper grabs 3 boxes minimum, store them in cool, dry places. If you can find 55-gallon drum liners, even better. You'll use them to line toilets, create clean floor space for medical aid, even block out broken windows. And they weigh nothing. Cost pennies. And yet, when the crisis hits, Walmart employees say they disappear like gold. Not glamorous, not tactical, just critical. Because survival isn't clean, and without contractor bags, your situation gets real dirty, real fast. 4. Cast iron cookware, the indestructible secret weapon of blackout survival. Forget your fancy non-stick pans and overpriced air fryers. When the lights go out, what's cooking dinner isn't some gadget, it's cast iron, that heavy black skillet hanging in the camping aisle or tucked next to the cheap aluminum pots at Walmart. Preppers quietly snatch those first. Why? Because when electricity, gas, and running water vanish, cast iron becomes the ultimate survival cooking tool. It works over open flame, on a grill, even balanced over hot coals. During the 2023 winter storms that froze half the Midwest, Walmart employees in Missouri, Kansas, and Arkansas reported that cast iron cookware, especially Lodge brand, sold out by day 2 of outages. And here's what most folks don't know. Cast iron isn't just about durability. It's about thermal mass. It holds heat better than any other cookware, which means fewer resources wasted trying to boil water or cook rice when fuel's limited. According to USDA emergency food prep guidelines, maintaining cooking temps in off-grid situations is one of the top fuel drains. Cast iron reduces that cost by 35% compared to steel or aluminum pans. Bonus? Properly seasoned cast iron becomes naturally nonstick and adds trace iron to food, a big deal when vitamin access gets scarce. Walmart insiders say savvy shoppers grab the Dutch ovens too, because you can bury them in coals to slow cook stews or boil questionable water. Smart preppers buy early and store in padded totes to prevent rust. Rookie mistake? Waiting until the storm hits. Because when everyone else is Googling how to cook without power, you'll be simmering beans on your back porch like a frontier king. That's real preparedness. And that's why Walmart's cast iron shelf is ground zero for the ones who know. 3. Manual tools. The non-electric essentials you didn't know you'd need. Here's what no one thinks about until it's too late. When the grid is down, your electric drill is a paperweight, your power saw, worthless. And that garage full of cordless tools, useless without charging stations. That's why manual tools, the kind your grandpa swore by, are one of the most aggressively looted sections during disaster prep runs at Walmart. We're talking hand saws, can openers, manual screwdrivers, crowbars, even crank-powered flashlights. In 2024, during the severe nor'easter that swept through Maine and left tens of thousands without power for over a week, multiple Walmart store managers reported that manual tools were stripped clean within 24 hours. Not just for repairs, but for survival tasks no one thinks about. like boarding up broken windows, lifting stuck basement doors, or opening that rusted water main shutoff. According to a Homeland Infrastructure Threat Risk Assessment, urban grid-down scenarios see a 42% increase in household mechanical failures, jammed locks, broken hinges, cracked vents. And what fixes them when there's no plug? Elbow grease and steel. Smart preppers load up on multi-tools, crank radios, and manual can openers, because you'd be shocked how many people store canned food, but forget how to open it. Walmart insiders say manual kitchen grinders, jar openers, and even meat tenderizers vanish during emergencies. Why? Because when protein is scarce, even tough cuts of meat need to be made edible. Add in wire cutters, duct tape, and hand-powered air pumps, and suddenly your quiet toolbox is more valuable than a whole closet full of gadgets. So here's your move. Walk past the electronics and go straight to the tool wall. Because when you're facing a blackout with no ETA, the only tools that matter are the ones that work without asking for a charge. 2. Antibiotic ointments, bandages, and medical tape. When first aid becomes your emergency room. This one's not flashy. It doesn't get clicks on YouTube thumbnails or likes on social media prepper groups. But the second someone gets a cut during a blackout, a burn from trying to cook over flame, or an infected blister after walking miles without proper shoes, you'll wish you had shelves of this stuff. Antibiotic ointments like Neosporin, triple antibiotic creams, gauze pads, and real cloth medical tape. These vanish fast, and Walmart employees say it's always the same pattern. Someone in the first wave gets spooked, grabs 10 tubes, and suddenly everyone else follows. Here's why. In disaster zones without hospital access, minor wounds turn lethal. The WHO tracked post-hurricane infection rates in 2022 and found that untreated lacerations led to a 14% spike in systemic infections in the first week alone. And get this, most Americans don't even have a single roll of medical tape at home. Walmart insiders say that in 2023's tornado season, local stores in Arkansas and Tennessee saw first aid kits sold out within 4 hours, with individual bandage boxes gone before nightfall. It's not about volume, it's about repetition. Wounds need to be cleaned and redressed every 6 to 8 hours in humid, unsanitary conditions. You'll run out fast. That's why true preppers don't buy a single kit. They build trauma boxes. Stack gauze rolls, cling wrap, butterfly closures, even sterile saline wash. Add nitrile gloves and burn gel too. Keep them in multiple places: car, go bag, bedroom. Because in a crisis, your kitchen becomes an ER, and you'll either be the medic or the casualty. 1. Footwear, insoles, and work socks. The prep most people realize too late. Let me hit you with something brutal. Your entire bug-out plan, your food cache, your water jugs, your gear, it's all worthless if your feet give out. And guess what? Walmart workers say the very first thing hardcore preppers quietly clear out during a run isn't beans or batteries, it's boots. We're talking waterproof hiking shoes, steel-toe work boots, gel insoles, and thick, blister-resistant socks. Because if you have to evacuate, on foot, through water, debris, or cold pavement, the shoes you wear decide if you make it. According to a 2024 FEMA mobility report, during regional evacuations over rough terrain, foot injuries were the second most reported medical issue, right behind dehydration. Walmart associates in flood-prone areas like Florida and Louisiana report that the outdoor boot aisle gets decimated every time there's a hurricane warning. And not just boots, Dr. Scholl's insoles, boot socks, foot powder, even moleskin tape. Gone. Because people remember Katrina. They remember trench foot, infected blisters, and trying to walk 10 miles with soaked Nikes and nothing dry. Smart preppers? They buy early and stash backups. You want one rugged waterproof pair, one broken-in walking pair, and extra laces. Socks? Merino wool or synthetic moisture wicking. Minimum 6 pairs. And throw in foot powder. Because bacteria thrive in emergencies. Here's your wake-up. You might need to walk further than your car. Gas might be gone. Roads might be blocked. So the question is, can your feet get you out? Most people never think about this until it's too late. Walmart workers say the smart ones do. And when the panic hits, they're not in line for sneakers. They're already halfway to safety. You just saw the real list, the one Walmart doesn't advertise, the one your neighbor doesn't even know he needs until it's too late. These aren't nice-to-haves. These are the first to vanish when disaster hits. And once they're gone, that's it. Trucks won't come, shelves won't refill. And according to DHS, 72 hours is all it takes before chaos replaces convenience. But now you know better. You've got the same intel Walmart employees whisper about behind locked doors. You've got the edge. And the next time the sirens blare or the power grid dies, while the rest of the crowd is clawing at empty aisles, you'll be calm, stocked, and 3 moves ahead. Because prepping isn't panic, it's power. And now it's your move.